Hello guys, and welcome to some more TORA highlights for the Ginetta SuperCup here for the Knockhill races, round 3 and 4 of the calendar. And as you can see, we're in qualifying, and we're about to start qualifying here. And I have to say, wasn't looking forward to this one too much. A lot of elevation changes around this circuit, and it's something that's not exactly great for the pad, particularly if you're trying to control a slide going up certain corners. So sort of fearing this one, sort of seeing it as straight out of the box, sort of damage limitation, but we'll push as hard as we can. And that's just sort of the mentality I had in it, just push as hard as I dared. And as we enter start our first lap of the session, heading down into across the line now, and you can see it's very up and down. There's a lot of changes of elevation, but it's quite a fun track overall. Actually, it's not that bad as our teammate gets out of the way, and we're into turn 1 now, and the tyres are still pretty cold at this stage, so we're just trying to get the tyre temperatures up. And around the circuit, it's all about trying to do laps and laps and laps and laps. So it took about 3-4 laps to get the tyres into the right window. We did 53.8 straight off the bat, which isn't great, but this lap should be more representative of what we can do. But it was more like just doing more and more laps and laps as you can go on, and we've got a car in front of us which probably will put us off a little bit, so we'll try and push this section up here, the chicane up and left and on the right, very tricky indeed, and we never get that pretty well actually. The car in front is going to hold us up, and he obviously wasn't looking that I was on a lap. My headlights were on, but didn't see me, so that interrupted my lap there, which did irritate me slightly. I'm not going to lie about that one, but here we go again to try and run once again. I suppose it's not too much of a disadvantage. That was our second fire lap, but you know, as a tyre has more heat in it, you know, the more it wears. So in some ways it does affect. But we're on again for the our third final lap of the session, as we head through this chicane up again. This very tricky left and then right, and yeah, this club so much, but we get away with it. The car's off on the right hand side. And now we're heading into the last part of the circuit. Very like this part actually, it's quite fun. A nice corner, that one. But we're up on our lap time. It wasn't as good as before though, actually, I think. So it's not been the best as we head into the last corner now. Tricky one, this one down to second gear. Some people use first. I prefer second. It just helps with wheel spin. And then here we go, run to the line now, and it's been a pretty good lap this one. It's going to be in the 50s, a 51.7, so not great, it's alright, it's not too bad, it's definitely an improvement. And then across the line for the next lap as the car's in our way, 51.3, so improvements are coming in, left, right and centre. And then we're going for the next lap of the session as well. As we get out the exit, the last corner, it's going to be another improvement for us as well. And you can see the consistency here actually now. As we get the tyre temperatures in, the consistency is starting to go in at 51.2 that lap as well. So the consistency is coming in, and it's feeling really good. And the next lap, we're actually doing an identical lap time there. So that's quite funny. Going on the later on in the session now. This is actually our fastest lap of the session, I believe. And we're into P7 in this qualifying session. Didn't know if I was going to make it into Lobby A. I really want to get into Lobby A, but Lobby B is pretty competitive anyway, and it's quite fun. It's not as serious as Lobby A, so that's an advantage to Lobby B. But we're on this lap here. We're going to try and be as perfect as possible. We've got cars in our way and have to avoid that one. Left, right, you have to cut that a little bit, and the fair you can get away with it as long as you cut it nicely, and we cut that pretty well. As now into this corner now, one of my favourites on the circuit. Again, hit the switch curb there, and that's not been great either. It's not been the best of laps. Made a few mistakes on this one, and now heading into the last corner. And yeah, it's not really overly happy with this lap, to be honest. But I think it's going to be an improvement here actually. So here we come, run to the line once again, and it's going to be an improvement, I think, as we cross the line around about now. And it's 51.1. So actually, that's our first lap of the session, and that a lot of mistakes. With 2 mistakes in that lap, I felt that we probably lost a little bit of time. So wasn't totally happy, and we're going for more runs towards the end of the session after that lap, and we did another 51.1. And then I think after this we did another 51.1 as well. So the tyre sort of ran out of breath in a sense, and we didn't hook at the lap when the tyres were optimal. So that's the way it is in the end of the day. We try our hardest, another 51.1 there as you can see. But definitely felt a bit of an improvement, a couple of tenths, but it wouldn't have mattered on our position in terms of qualifying. It could have made a difference in terms of what lobby we're in, but the lobby, I think, it was much. I think you have to be able to do like a 50.4 or something to get into lobby A, so we're quite off that. But we're in P7 in there, and that's going to put us in lobby B for the races, which isn't too bad. It's a pretty competitive lobby. All the EVR boys pretty much were in there with me, so that was quite fun, racing against the EVR boys together, with Team Pink versus Team Yellow. That was quite fun. For the first time this season. So here we go for the race here, race 3 of the season, and hopefully we can have a good one here. As look at this formation lap, absolutely just chaos, to be honest. Couldn't run a good clean formation lap here, which obviously was a bit annoying for me. It affected actually our run to the lineup where you formate and you go racing, so this affected me big time. The car behind me, I think it's actually I don't know who's behind me. I think it's Matt 212 is behind me here, and it's really affected my run as they went going here. And Matt got a really good run. He's far back, goes up my inside there, and he takes a position. So I was hoping to keep the position. His cars are off there. We're back up to P6 again, and another car is off as well. It's Chirac, but you should be okay. Another car, and that's Taylor, and he's spanning in front of me and Matt, and that is just giving me damage. I had nowhere to go there. Couldn't go anywhere. And I was caught up in that. Matt was in front of me. Matt avoided it nicely, but I couldn't, and that was just annoying. As more cars are off as well on the side, up to P5, but we've got damage now, and it's yellow, and that's not great, as I was feeling the understeer. And understeer on the circuit isn't great, and particularly on the pad where the pad doesn't change direction as quick as the wheel. It's not bad, the pad. It is much more better than it was on Portugal Cars 1, but it's just very irritating at this point where my race pretty much was ruined at that point with the damage. So, Team Yellow sort of interrupted Team Pink's race there, which is not very good. There's less mistakes being made by the members on that side, in my opinion. But that's the way it is. You know, that's racing. People make mistakes, and unfortunately, you know, I was an instant victim of that. We're just going to continue on here and just trying, and that's what I was trying to do. You know, at this point, I was like, okay, right, we're in P5 here. We can get some good points. You know, that's what it is. This is a team spot. Another car's gone. That's P4. Luckily, I actually made a mistake myself to avoid that because I've been caught up in that one as well. So we're actually now at P4, which is pretty good to be in P4. And I thought to myself, you know what, if I can keep this position to the end and just get the points home, that's, you know, that would be happy with me considering, you know, the damage on the front of the car. So, you know, continue with the car, just try to get the points home for the team. It is a team, you know, championship more than a driver's championship. You know, obviously us as individuals want to do well, yes, but for me, I'm happy to, you know, compete for the team, and the points are what matter in this. But yeah, we just try and continue on. Obviously, the aero damage does affect your performance of the car. It probably costs you around about 1.5 seconds a lap, 1 second a lap ish. So I should be doing 52s here, but I'm just struggling with the understeer. As you can see, it's not getting the turn that I want, and it was painful. But we're keeping P4 as it stands, and we're doing pretty good laps here. 53 once again, so very consistent again. So our pace, our consistency isn't the problem. Obviously, pace is lacking, 52.8. So the pace is lacking because of the aero damage. I couldn't get the right bite into the corners. I had to be very patient with everything, and I couldn't really unleash the performance that I wanted to do in this race. But it just damaged my reputation. I knew going into this race that it wasn't the best track for us. But I just, you know, and we already knew, and the spin here, and that was out of my own error. I think I just, you know, the understeer was, I had to manage everything, the understeer, and think about how I was driving. That's really what happened. I just think about everything, you know, understeer, and I think there I couldn't go through that chicane. You can go as fast as you could through there. With the aero damage, you can't go as fast through there, so I went too fast, and that's why I spanned. So yeah, just again a result of the damage we had earlier on. So here I was trying to go more cautiously. It's there again. We lose the car again, and yeah, again just lost no position to actually get rear damage this time. And that rear damage causes even more problems because that causes more oversteer. So now we've got to manage understeer and oversteer together, and again, it's just, if that wasn't for the aero damage we had at the start of the race, we wouldn't be in this situation basically. So very annoyed with that. But what can you do? You know, that's the way it is. We've got EVR Hurricane behind us, which is one of our teammates. We let him go here. I knew he was faster. He had a bit of damage himself, but it wasn't as bad as mine. So I let him go. And he's gone wide there, so he's struggling with, I think oversteer as well. So I think I hit him on the rear of the car as well. He's basically in the same situation as me, except I had front damage as well as rear. So now down in P7, and it's just looking to be a miserable race. Getting a little bit tired and fed up of it. I was just annoyed, but you know, again, in my head I was thinking about the team. I didn't think about myself. I thought, you know what, just get these points home. Every point matters. It's a team championship, and that's what I had to think about, and that's what I did. I just continued on, and just try to keep in there. Hopefully, maybe get some more positions. As the car ahead actually has banned, and that's Kieran. So we had to mind that off again. I have to avoid mistakes from people, and that was bad. As now we get lapped in this race, as we've got, I think that's Chirac who passed us, and they've got Matt behind us. And I'm talking to the guys in the team behind us. I was like, you know what, just gonna let Matt through here. So yeah, a miserable race where just nothing really went right for us. We just got caught up in other people's mistakes. That cost us, you know, cost a lot of time in terms of pace as well as track position as well. So not great, but recovery drive was on here as we go into the last corner of this lap here, and take home P6. I'll take it. You know, it's good points in the cards. I just felt that, you know, top 5 was definitely on the cards if it wasn't for me getting caught up in other people's mistakes. So that's the way it is. That's racing in the end of the day. So I thought, you know, going into the next race we can come back stronger in race 2. We'll start P6. It's roughly where we started in race 1 actually, I think. So yeah, behind a lot of those guys. Matt won that race, and Shrek, they both had a really good battle in the race, so congrats to them too in the team, and Burnout in P3 did a really solid job there too. As now going on to race 2, as we start in P6 with Hurricane behind us as well. And here I was aiming, you know what, in a good position once again. Hopefully people don't make mistakes in front of me. But obviously it's much better if you start higher up. You know, if I felt if I started P4, then maybe it would be more better for me in terms of people getting caught up in people's mistakes. So here we go for race 2 now. If we go racing around about, I think now, as it's a bit delayed, so we're going to go racing now. Hurricane gets a better start than me once again, as he's gone on the inside and ahead of us. We're just trying to keep it cautious here, as I think Dizzle's span, and that's caused Hurricane to go, and absolute cluster. And here I was thinking to myself, absolutely just, I was horrified. I didn't know what to do there. I was like shitting myself, just trying to get back on the circuit. But now we've got even more front. We've got front damage once again. I think like 23, I think it is, from what I can see, something like that. So that's going to cause more understeer once again. It's the same situation as race 1, and that's absolutely annoying. Taylor's in front of us, and he was obviously the guy who he had the incident with in race 1. So yeah. Yeah, once again, area damage once again in this race, and it's the same situation as race 1. As the guy behind us goes forward, I bomb, and we get him back there, so that was a good move from me. And but here, he actually tags onto our left-hand side, we nearly push him towards us. I think I'm going to just let him through there. I wasn't willing to push now. At this point, I sort of lost all momentum. And just yeah, again, nothing really was working out for me. I was always getting caught up in other people's mistakes. And you know, that's the problem when you start mid-pack, really. You're going to be involved in those things, and yeah, a track so tight like this as well, it's hard to avoid those things. You have to take to the gravel, so that was really annoying. But continuing on to lap 4 now, as we're keeping pretty close to the quick guys in front of us. I was pushing as hard as I dared as we go for another spin. So that's again because of the air damage. I went too fast through there, and that's caused another spin. So again, the air damage does affect the car a lot. You can't take as much speed through corners. And I was pushing as hard as I could to stay with the guys in front, but, you know, that's that really. Again, made a mistake. And, yeah, annoying. But now we're back up to I think that's P8, is it? Or P9? P9? Yeah. They're back up there. But, yeah, this again looks to be another miserable race like race 1. So I was just trying to do what I can. There's nothing seemed to go well for me in this race, and just kept plugging away as much as I could to try and, you know, just get back to the order. Now we're back up to P8, and the car's all actually on the right hand side, and that's Taylor. And now we're into P7. So we're getting people making mistakes. We're not coming out of the order. At this point, I was like, you know what, let's try and keep consistent, try and keep going as fast as we can there, and just try and get some good points to the end of the race. And that's what I could do. So it was another comeback drive for me. As another car ahead has gone, that's Dizzle, as we're now up into P6, so other people's mistakes, and now we're behind Miko, I think his name is. And this was going to be a battle for the end of the race. 12 laps between me and him for top 5. This is what I aimed for. You know, I felt top 5 would be a good result, considering we're down in P9 at one stage. So I just pushed on now and hit. You know, I felt I had more pace than him, but this actually was going to be the battle of the race. And round here, overtaking opportunities, you know, there aren't really many because it's such a tight circuit. So that's the problem. But I stood behind him, and we went on for a fight between me and him here as we go into the last corner, as I gain a little bit through there by him. And now just trying to do what I can to try and get past him as quick as possible, because the guys behind us were quick too. That's what I could try and do. But lap 12 now, we're right on the back of him as we head into turn 1 once again, as we're hitting it nicely, and we're just trying to keep as consistent as we can and just try and follow him, see if we can force him into a mistake. That's what I was trying to do. Putting pressure on people is probably the best thing. It's really on his rear now, and he's really struggling to go through the left and the right again, being very cautious myself. He's gone a little bit wide there, so I felt he was a little bit vulnerable getting into this corner, so I was trying to take as much as I can down the 3rd gear, hooking it nicely. He's a bad run through there, and actually look at that, we've got a nice run here as we're trying to get past him. We go to the right hand side, he's forcing us to the right hand side, we're nearly on the grass, and he's forcing us even more, and I backed out of that one. I was like, yeah, that mate, that was enough, that was too much for me. Yeah, he was forcing me a lot to the right, and I was on the grass, and I think if I went on the grass, I probably would have killed him, so backed out of that one. As we head on to the next lap, following on later on, we head back onto him once again. We're keeping pressure on him. I wasn't letting him get away, but the guys behind us are now catching us as well. So I was thinking about timing, trying to get past him as we're right on his rear again. Try to optimise this corner here. We get a nice run once again. Really good run once again. Pretty much a parallel to the previous lap. As we here try to go to the right, but he parks it in the middle of the racetrack. Very good racing from him. Good defending, and again just couldn't get him. Got the inside, but it's slower really. The outside line is better through there. If you're defending, and he keeps his position. So his defending was really good. Scary at times because of what happened beforehand with all the crashes with people before. So I was being very cautious. But here he had a really bad run at lap 14, and I actually made a mistake. So that's where I made a mistake. And the guy behind us starts catching us like shit. I was shitting myself. So luckily we kept him in P6 there. But now it gives me a little bit of a time to break away, and it's time for me to refocus up again and just try and attack once again. I attacked once again, call back up to him by like 15, and right on his case again. So he was thinking for himself, oh god, not this guy again. And I just tried to put pressure on him as much as I could, and tried to make him make a mistake, basically, just try and force him to a mistake. That's all I could do. So far, the race has been demonstration. I want to get the most points as possible, like race 1. Basically, the same mentality. When something goes wrong, just try and get the points as most possible as possible. It's a team sport, team championship in the end. But here, he actually makes a mistake here. He clumps it, and this is my chance. I go to the right hand side, take it grab it with both hands. We get the move done, and that, I'll tell you something, that was the most relieved I felt about making the move there. He was wide. I took the opportunity with both hands, and I got the move done at lap 16, and that was just, I was so happy with that. And now for me, it's just trying to get to the end of the race here in front of him, and I was getting away now. And here, as you can see, we're actually going to go for our personal best lap of the race. It's going to be a 1:52.8, so a personal best there, and it shows how much we're getting held up by him. We're probably doing about a second lap or so. I was really pushing here, and actually I was catching the guy in front, Gotti. We definitely were catching him as well. So the pace was definitely there for top 4 in this race, but I'm coming in P5, a P6 in race 1, a P5 in race 2. I'll definitely take that. I could have been much better in terms of the race result, but that's the way. That's racing in the end of the day. Getting caught up in other people's collisions are that's racing. That's the way it is. And this track is such a tight one. It's really hard to avoid them. But P5 in the race, a top 5 finish. I'll take that very nicely. Good points for Team Pink. And Team Yellow also had a really good race here, with Matt winning the second race as well, like he did in race 1, with Chirac getting P2 for Team Pink. So happy with that result. Good comeback through the field. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe for more racing content on the channel, and I'll see you very soon for another video on the channel. Bye guys.